Everyone, it's Todd here from T-Best Art. Well, I had some feedback from YouTube just about the sound quality of my last lot of videos, and it was pretty poor, and I looked back at it and I couldn't hear anything I was saying. So thanks for the feedback. So I've got myself a lapel mic now, so we shouldn't have so many technical issues with sound, and just bear with me. I have no idea about making videos, so I'm trying to have a look at some editing apps, so I'll hopefully make some better quality viewing and a little bit less long like these last videos dragged on and on. So what we're going to do today is look at equipment that you use on a budget for spray paint art, and that's a request that I've had from YouTube. So it's a great request, and it should be one of my first videos that I do anyway. So let's go through that now. We'll start off with the material as far as what you paint on. So I guess this stuff here is called poster board, so it's literally like an old poster, or you could get, say, about a $2 shiny sort of surface from a newsagent or a cheap sort of craft store. I rarely use that sort of stuff because my customers generally want the stuff framed, the artwork framed, so I generally buy just the one size, which is the 60 by 90 centimeter frame. And what I'll do is I just go for a standard white primer. All my paints are enamel. You can use acrylic paints. This happens to be like a value for money kind of option. And we don't want to spend too much money on supplies, especially if you're doing a lot of art. So prime the surface before you start. We'll just go through quickly the safety gear. So if you're doing a lot of spray painting or any spray painting, you do need to protect yourself with a mask. The disposable masks are not very good. These ones with the proper filters that are rated to, like this is Australia, it's rated to Australian standards here. As long as they're compliant with safety standards and you do replace the filters when you need to. Gloves, as you know, I use very cheap gloves, 5 cents each. Buy them in a bulk pack of 100. You can buy proper spray painting gloves, they just cost a bit. That's the basic safety gear. As far as the cleaning stuff goes, a good idea to clean your surface first before you spray paint onto it. There was one other surface I did forget to mention, and it's actually one of my main ones I use. I've just displayed all my paint on this surface at the moment, but the other material I use to paint on is called MDF, and I buy it in a really large sheet and I cut it down to that size, that 60 by 90 size. All those surfaces that we use there, or I use poster board or the melamine board, or the perspex or the glass, they're all very fragile type of media, and you will need to tell your customers just to advise them that it is easily scratched and not to touch too much, basically. As far as the stencils go, you know, use as long as it's heavy and round, and this is not the best sort of thing because it's got a bit of a round edge, but if you can get any of those lids that have a straight sort of edge on them, so really sharp, they work the best. I just haven't really gotten to that. And I keep any lids from water bottles or cordial bottle, the paints. So as I said, it's enamel paint that I use. It is value for money kind of stuff. Not great for outdoor use, but your paintings are never going to be outdoors, and this stuff lasts forever indoors. So it is a good option. As far as the colors that you really need to be getting, as far as what I use anyway, this is probably the minimum amount of colors I would recommend. So we've got plum purple, ocean blue, sky blue, creation blue, a whole range of the blues will come in really handy. Emerald green, gloss pink, gloss yellow, international orange, gloss red, gold, chrome, gloss white, gloss black, and clear. So these last three, you need to be keeping more of those than any other paint. So the one that you need the most of is gloss black. Probably keep 5 times the amount of gloss black than any other colors you have. Whites, probably 3 to 4 times the amount, and the clear about the same, about 3 times the amount of the other paints, because depends on how shiny you want that top surface to be after you finish. I put 3 or 4 minimum clear coats on my finished work. The other paint I did forget to just lay out here is your white primer. You need about 4 times the amount of that as well, because you're needing to prime the surface well. As far as the minimum levels of paint, you definitely need to keep at least 2 of each. I mean, I keep 2 of each in my little box over here, and the rest I put a whole heap in the garage for when I need them. You don't want to be going out to the shops buying paint all the time. You're better off storing them at home so you can quickly access them when you need to. Just a reminder, when you do run out of this, say, paint, and you've got a nice new one there, you want to take your cap off, you want to spray that edge there, so you've always got the color on the top of the can, which makes it really easy accessible when you're trying to reach for a can. You don't want to be looking for a label and trying to work out what color paint it is, because they really do look the same if you don't do that. And you don't want to be keeping the caps on them while you're trying to work, because it's very messy when you've got all stuff all over your hands trying to pull caps off, and they're going to get stuck and drop down and all sorts of things. One thing that I'm not overly great at, but you should do, is cleaning these tips every time you use them with a bit of Terps, and also turning the can upside down after use, shaking up and spraying that into a bin or something that's not going to go everywhere, to unclog that nozzle and the tube. These paints over here, so you don't need these ones if you're starting out, but some customer requests or some ocean scenes or various types of spray paint art look great with fluorescent paints, so it's not a bad idea to keep. These two here, I don't buy many colors because these cost a lot of money. They're translucent paint, so particularly use this sort of one for the middle shading of an earth scene, so you're not wanting to cover up your detail, you're wanting some see-through paint. It really helps make that painting pop out and really look 3D. So going on to the other equipment that we use on a very regular basis, like always. So paintbrushes, they're your 3 main types of paintbrushes you'll use. A little bit thicker sort of one, a bit thinner one, and this one, which I'm not very technical, I have no idea what the name is, but that one's used a lot. Scrapers, the main one you use is about that sort of size, but you might want a thinner one for some work. Palette knives, buy them in a kit. I'm sure that these things will be used sometime in the history of my work or the future of my work, but I have no idea what I'll use them for. The main one you use is this one here. It comes in handy for so many jobs. A deck of cards come in handy almost always in my work, and definitely recommend getting a pack or a deck of cards to fold them and use them for various different paint applications. Lots of great shading techniques used with the cards, and get a lighter if you need to dry your work fast, so using a clear coat of paint with a lighter creates a flamethrower, which is dangerous. I don't recommend it, but if you needed to use that, it is a common technique. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that was informative about the basics of what you need to get you started on your spray paint art, and good luck, and I'll see you again soon.